Roll call, all commissioners are present. We'll have adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
We have a request for a football tournament. I'd like to add that to the consent agenda. They had originally listed July the 4th as one of their nights. They have scratched that night. Everyone has a copy of it, but would be pleased to add that to the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would like to add an item, a Florida historical marker application, and we can have that for number 11.
We, I think we have number 11. All right, that'd be number 11. All right, we have, two amendments, one for the historical marker, one for the fishing tournament to be moved to consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Pass 5-0. Okay. We'll have petitions from the public. Let me announce, if you're here for the public hearing on item number 1 under new business, hold your remarks till we start that hearing. If there's, we have some others here, from the, oh yeah, well let's move them. Ms. Kim Allbritton, come forward, please.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
I wanted to provide you all an update on the services offered at the health department. Effective July 15th, we will be closing our dental program. It saddens me that it's come to this, that we have to do this. However, the sustainability of the program can no longer be maintained. I'm putting about $125,000 a year into the program. So it's taking away from our other core public health services. And in order to maintain that structure, I have to close the dental program. So I just wanted to let you all know, so as of July 15th, the program will be closed. We are very fortunate in Madison County, however, that we do have 3 dentists here to provide services, and they do accept Medicaid. So we have the infrastructure within the county. What it does is it places me in providing the dental services, it places me in competition with the other dentists. And that's not a position that I need to be in. We're to fill gaps, not to be in competition with our private providers. So just wanted to let y'all know, and if y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Governor. Any questions from?
Thank you.
Thanks again. Appreciate that very much. Okay. All right. We'll approval of minutes from the regular meeting for June the 10th. I'll entertain a motion to.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion to accept.
Second.
Then a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Pass 5-0. Constitutional officer reports. We got sheriff here or any other constitutional?
Here. I don't have anything right now.
Okay. Okay. All right, then we'll move down to the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
5-0. All right, none unfinished business, public works. We're gonna move down to number 4 under, new business.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Excuse me. This issue that I have is it deals with the right of way. So it might need to be one of the public works instead of new business.
Okay.
What y'all think?
It is a historical marker, right?
Yes.
It's gonna be what, on 90 or somewhere?
Highway 150 on Greenville.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think it's gonna be, any decision y'all make won't be any less valid because it's where it is, so it's okay with everybody.
Okay.
All right, we will go ahead and move down to the review and discussion of proposed ordinance prohibiting the sale of tobacco products and vaporing generated electronic devices within the vicinity of schools. I think we have Ms. Reichert and a whole group of students here. All right. Y'all wanna come forward?
Mr. Chairman, I might give you some background.
Yeah.
That would be okay.
Yeah, please.
In your packet, well, at the last meeting, a presentation was made, and the board was considering whether or not to enact an ordinance prohibiting the sales of tobacco. At the board's instruction, I prepared an ordinance, proposed ordinance is in the packet. What the proposed ordinance does is it prohibits sales within a certain number of feet from all the schools. It applies to sales of both tobacco and to the vapor generating electronic devices. I left blank the number of feet in the school, figuring out decide what you wanted there. This ordinance is specifically limited to the unincorporated area of the county outside of the cities. However, where the school from which you do the setback from, that school can be in the incorporated area. So for instance, the Greenville school, which is right inside the Greenville city limits, if you drew a circle around that school, the part of that that's within the unincorporated area would fall into this ordinance, even though the school itself is still in the incorporated area. So I think, now this was not noticed as a public hearing. This was brought up just for consideration and for the board to decide what it wants to do. If you do want to go forward with this, you need to tell me the number of feet, how big you want that area, and instruct me to notice it for a public hearing, and then we'll get it noticed, jump out of a public hearing, and decide whether or not you want to enact.
Okay, ladies, would you like to speak?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
We are here today to represent the Tobacco-Free Madison Partnership and Students Working Against Tobacco, also known as SWAT. First, we would like to say thank you for the support you have given our youth in Madison County. You have taken an active approach to prevent initiation of tobacco use among youth in our community.
In the past, you have allowed our group to educate you on emerging trends like the electronic nicotine delivery systems epidemic among youth. Additionally, the Board of Commissioners passed resolutions for tobacco-free parks to help send positive health messages to our community. Today, you have heard our voice and considered the passing of a proposed ordinance to prohibit the sale of tobacco and electronic nicotine delivery systems near schools.
We greatly appreciate your forward thinking to strengthen the definition of electronic nicotine delivery systems in the proposed ordinance. These products have quickly become an epidemic among youth e-cigarette use. While the long-term health effects of e-cigarettes are still unknown, we need to act swiftly to combat this emerging health threat.
Again, we thank you for working with the Tobacco-Free Madison Partnership and SWAT Youth. Hearing our voice and considering ways to protect the youth in Madison County. We do ask that you use 1,000 feet footage from a school as suggested to protect youth from advertising and access to products.
Thank you. Right, have a, this ordinance before us, we want motion on this to, I'll entertain a motion for this.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve it and to include 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second for 1,000 feet. Any further discussion?
One thing I forgot to say,
Yeah.
this does have a grandfather clause for existing businesses. Follow.
I read that, yeah.
So just to make sure everybody.
Okay.
For point of discussion, when you say existing businesses and within 1,000 feet, if that business was to change hands or ownership, would that, or does that go with the business, or does it go to the type of business that's there, or the name of the business?
If you look at, it's in paragraph 4, starting on page 2. And so what it's tied to is, it's tied to the license that they have to get from the state to be a tobacco retailer. Under Florida law, they're not allowed to sell tobacco unless they have a tobacco retailer license from the state. And so if you read on 4, it says the prohibition does not apply to a retail tobacco products dealer. That's defined earlier as someone that holds that license. And it says who is located on a parcel of property continuously occupied since the later of, and that's going to be the date of that the ordinance is enacted. later that date or the first day students attend the subject school. So if we did a brand new school, then if you put a new school somewhere, you wouldn't, the ones within 1,000 feet of that new school would be, fall within it. And then it says, such a parcel of real property shall be deemed to continue to occupy no one gap of time that has not been so occupied longer than 6 months. Qualify this exception is not necessary for the subject real property to continue to occupy the same retail tobacco products given. So as long as there's not a 6-month gap, so if somebody's got this exemption and wants to sell their business, as long as there's not a 6-month gap where there's no retail tobacco product supplier, then the exemption would continue. If they go out of business and there's no tobacco product supplier for 6 months, the exemption goes away.
6 months, okay.
And there's no magic about 6 months. If y'all want that to be 9 months or a year or whatever y'all want it to be.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other comments? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. 5-0.
I'll go ahead and notice this for the next meeting and get it done.
Right, okay. Okay, we're gonna move back up, to, the public hearing for, advertised public hearing for the proposed ordinance repealing all ordinances concerning the hours of, during which alcoholic beverages may or may not be sold, consumed, or permitted to be served and consumed in the incorporated area of Madison County. We have several speakers who have already indicated. Robert Dixon, I'll call on you first.
Thank you. My name is Robert Dixon. I live in Lee, and I'm employed by the Middle Florida Baptist Association. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you tonight, and thank you for your service to our community. I can't imagine what it's like trying to keep a county full of folks happy and moving forward in a positive direction. I know it must be a challenging job, so thank you. Let me see if I can make your job easier. I want to ask you to drop consideration of repealing the ordinances that prohibit the sale of alcohol on Sundays. It's not a consumption issue. Regardless of when the alcohol is purchased, folks can drink whenever they choose to. And it's not an economic issue. There's going to be little additional economic benefit to our county. And it may be offset by greater costs related to the sales on Sunday. If we're really concerned about the economics of it, I would suggest you raise the tax on alcohol. I'd be all in favor of that. This is nothing more than a scheduling issue, and for 2,000 years, the first day of the week has been a special day. The prayer offered earlier was offered in Jesus' name. His sacrificial death, burial, and resurrection has forever changed the meaning of the first day of the week. It's a special day. Most folks in Madison County recognize Sunday as a special day. Fewer businesses are open on Sunday than the other days of the week. No schools are open on Sunday. Only emergency-related government services operate on Sunday. The banks and the post office, they open for a little on Saturday, not on Sunday. There's 166 hours in the week, Monday through Saturday. That's enough time to buy whatever you need to get you through the weekend. Sunday is a special day. All across America, throughout our community, around the world, different cultures, different languages, different races, for rich, for poor, in urban areas, in rural areas, wherever you are, Sunday is a special day. Many in our community lament the loss of practices and values of the past. Let's not add to that by changing the Sunday sales to where Sunday's just another day of the week, another day to do business and commerce. It's not, it's a special day. I'm sure you have many other matters that require your attention. So if you can just drop this issue, move on to those things, I think it would save you a lot of time and grief. But however you choose to decide, thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Call on Brother Travis. Mr. Travis.
Commissioner, thank y'all for having us here and allowing us to speak. I also would like to speak on, Sunday is a special day, as Brother Robert has said. But I'd like to look at the economic side of it. I'd like to look at the convenience store side of it. I come from a family who have two of the bigger convenience stores in our county. Never day one have we sold alcohol, not from the beginning. A convenience store can stay open without the sale of alcohol, especially on one day. It is not gonna hurt it. I'd like to give you an example in my time of working in those convenience stores. We had a gentleman come in right there to the plaza in Lee at the Red Onion, and he asked if we had alcohol. He turned around and he left when I told him that we don't serve alcohol here. We lost that business. Within 5 or 10 minutes, I went to run an errand. As I was pulling out of our driveway, he was pulling out of Lowe's right across the street. He had already opened his top. He was already consuming that alcohol going down the road. This is not an issue of right or wrong, and whether it's right or wrong to sell alcohol in a store, and especially on Sundays. It's an issue of good or bad. What are we promoting in our county? What are we willing to promote in our county? Are we willing to promote the good? Are we willing to promote the bad? There is nothing good that has ever come out of the sale of alcohol, but yet we're looking to promote it at our lakes, on our roads, in our homes. Nothing good will come out of that sale. And if you say the sales, or if you say the money, then you might be part of the issue, because there's nothing out of that has ever given. All it's taken from people. It's taken lives, it's taken families, and that's what I'll leave you with. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Morrell Bennett.
Hey, sure.
I should have dropped Morrell Bennett.
Thank you for allowing us to come today. I apologize for not being loud as usual. Thank you for allowing all of our folks to come in. I represent Cherry Lake First Baptist Church. It's the only First Baptist Church in Cherry Lake, so we get to be first. And we are right down the street from the company store. Yeah, some of y'all got that. But I come representing the church. We have had alcohol in Madison County for some years. I was on a couple of committees, even though I'm not a resident of Madison. All my wife's family are, and there's a bunch of them. All my wife's grandma's family are. We tied in with all that too, and I'm just saying that I'm representing a lot of people that I appreciate what all of you do and what all the folks in the county do. And I'm not mad at anybody about trying to make a living, but I just think as church people, I want to stand up asking for our church to let's leave that one more day alone. We already have quite a flow of supply of alcohol. We were not able to get it stopped to start with, and there again, I'm not against anybody making a living. However, my venue as a pastor is to say, please, let us not extend it any further. And I appreciate your consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Okay, Mr. Bill Washington.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak to you tonight. Tonight I'm going to be different from a lot of people here. I'm for the sale of beer on Sundays. Right now, people are consuming beer in our county on Sundays. It's just a matter of where they're buying this beer at. We're missing the sales. Our local merchants are missing these sales. Within 15 miles of my store, they can go up to Georgia and buy all the beer they want to. There's probably 20, 25 establishments that sell beer. So it's not a matter of us not bringing beer into the county. It's a matter of where is this beer being purchased. You can go up to Clydeville in the Dollar General store. They got a big banner on the side of their building. We sell beer on Sundays. Now, who do you think that is aimed at? It's aimed at the merchants here in Madison County. I have people come to my store every Sunday, I know the market, wanting to buy beer. I was telling them we don't sell beer. They leave, they go up to Georgia to buy the beer. We're missing sales. We miss the sale of chips, ice, and whatever else. You know, it's a matter of economics. I'm not saying selling beer is a good thing or not, but it's being sold, and I think our local businesses are being punished by not being allowed to sell this beer. I don't know if any of you own a business or have to meet a payroll, but you know, it's tough being a small businessman, having to meet payroll, taxes, insurance. And we need all the help that we can get to do it, you know, legal help. So I think that it would be a good idea to let us sell beer on Sundays. And our employees, you know, we're having to compete against people pay our employees a living wage. And yet these people over here right across the state line, they can get all these extra sales, so they can pay their people more than I'm allowed to pay my people. It's just economics. So I just ask for your consideration. I think it'd be the right thing to do. We live in a mobile society. It's not where it used to be. If we didn't sell beer, they wouldn't be able to buy beer. Now they can go, they're on the road buying beer. We're not stopping people from buying beer. I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
I believe there's a lady from the Cherry Lake General Store, the one that came in.
Yes, please.
Would you like to come forward? State your name.
Deborah Knox.
I'm sorry?
Deborah Knox.
Deborah Knox.
Cherry Lake General Store.
Thank you, Deborah. Come right up.
As nervous as this makes me, thank you for hearing us. We all appreciate it. I am a merchant also. I think I'm a reasonably logical merchant. I realize every day on Sundays how much of our tax dollars are going to Georgia, and it is more than I think anybody realizes. It is an economical issue. Someone walks in our store on Sunday, they say, do you sell beer? They walk immediately out, they go to Clyattville, they purchase their beer, they come home. We also have Cherry Lake community out here. It makes it very difficult on us to maintain our proper, we could use more help on Sundays, but we don't have the sales for it. Now, whether or not beer is going to accommodate that, which I don't think it is, I think the beer is a minor part. It's the ice, it's the regular staples, it's the food products, it's the paper plates, it's the, you know, unfortunately cigarettes, which I'm not a fan of. It's the children's things, or the Band-Aids, or the, you know, bug spray. So it takes a lot out of our businesses to be able to have to say, I'm sorry, we don't do that here. As far as crime goes, I don't think anybody's aware how much beer is sold on Sundays in this county. There is quite a bit of it. I have had numerous people on Sundays come to me and say, will you sell me beer outside my back door? I'm like, no, I won't. I'm afraid of ours. So I've had people sneak in my coolers, drink alcohol or beer. I don't sell anything more than that on Sundays. I've had people sneak in my back room, steal beer. I've gone to the expense of putting locks on all of my doors on Sunday to make sure that no one's able to do that. We monitor who comes in and out. It is a tremendous hardship on our businesses that are close to Georgia that we are not able to supply what the public is requesting. Now, unofficially, we took the idea of the next door station and myself to put out a list or a signing sheet to ask the customers what it was that they would like. We have over 300 signatures. I can't guarantee that they're perfect. I'm pretty sure we did govern to make sure that all people were about 21 years old that signed it. We tried to make sure that no Georgia people signed it because they were not entitled to any opinion, in my opinion. So I would say within reason, we easily have 300 signatures that are requesting that the board make a change, allow us to come into the present and the future, and responsibly, because we are responsible. We make sure people are old enough to get this. We make sure that people are not drunk when they're purchasing alcohol. We make sure that, you know, just generally speaking, we care. We're not merchants that have numerous stores that are making up for one store having a loss and others not. So I thank you very much, Commissioners, for hearing what I have to say. I ask diligently that you vote in our favor and allow beer sales on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. I think we, all the petitions from the public on this issue, I'll open it up to the Commissioners.
Mr. Chairman? I'm sorry, I was not aware that you had to sign in order to be able to speak. May I have just a moment?
Your name, please?
I'm Jane Moore.
Jane Moore. Come forward, please.
Thank you. I'm Jane Moore, and I am a member of Cherry Lake First Baptist Church. Thank goodness. Thank you, Muriel. And I'll be brief. Yes, there are people that buy beer and want to buy beer on Sunday and other things like that, and that's legitimate. But what concerns me is back in the day when we were trying to get, somebody was trying to get Madison County to be a wet county. One of the concessions that was included in the ordinance or the law that finally was adopted was to not be able to sell those items on Sunday. And as far as the convenience issue, you know what? I have a big crowd at my house or in my family on Thanksgiving. I provide all the turkey and dressing. It's planning. If I didn't go, if I woke up Thursday morning and I didn't have a turkey because I forgot to go and get one, next box on me. And the same, I mean, the items are available on Saturday. They didn't used to be available at all in Madison County for sale. Well, they were available, they weren't for sale until the ordinance was passed. But the stores survived. There were still businesses here. The Crossroads down near Cherry Lake, they have 2 stores there. They had, you know, 2 stores already. And I understand what the merchants are saying. I understand that. But I just think it's not in Madison County's best interest to take this provision out of the ordinance that was originally passed. And I think that economics, one of the junior food store types, has mentioned that they don't sell it at all. Well, you know that, and he's a small business person, and of course, look at this, you know, other places, other big business, Chick-fil-A. Okay, well you say, well, that's a big business, and they have lots of money. Well, they have little individual, smaller stores that are surrounded by people that sell alcohol, and they don't on Sunday. They don't. They don't even work on Sunday, so they give their employees time, and that's great. But I just want you to remember that they're made up of a bunch of small facilities, not just one big, huge conglomerate in one place. It's throughout the United States. And I just think that please, think back how this ordinance originally got adopted and how what you're hearing tonight, people that care about this issue, and please take their thoughts into consideration, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I lost my eraser.
Is there anyone else who failed to sign up for? Oh, Ms. Leslie. Dwayne Leslie.
Thank y'all for letting me speak. Got a lot of friends in here. If you just go and walk out the door, I'm gonna still be everybody's friend. You got some friends on the other side, they got their right to my opinion. You know, and don't blame them at all for having their opinion and their right. But Sunday's a very special day to me, and I would not like to see alcohol sold on Sunday. And I know a lot of people can have it, some people can't. We have wrecks, Christmas City's wreck, boat accidents on Sunday in Cherry Lake with alcohol. And I got 2 grandboys, proud of them. They work 6 days a week. Sunday's their only day off. And they work in the night. They have leisure time on Sunday. And I would like for it not to be for real convenient. They could go in with a leisure time and buy beer on Sunday. I just thank the world of them and hope they'll never get started. instead of that. But, thank y'all for that. I'm gonna be everybody's friend when I walk out the door. Y'all feel, I'm gonna still be your friend.
Thank you, Ms. Leslie. Anyone else? I'll open it up to the board. Comments? Commissioners? Hearing no comments, do I have a motion? For the proposed ordinance? Hearing none, I'm going to say this is going to be dropped. Okay. All right, we will move on to item number 2, public hearing for 2019-06, for the vacant Southwest Ona Lane. You have that in your packet. We've already discussed that some already. We'll take a short 10-minute break and let everybody clear if you want to before we go on. That's good. Going down to number 2 on the public hearing for the resolution of 2019-06-26 to vacate Southwest Ona Lane and the unincorporated area of Madison County. Breed, you want to touch on that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Of course, the county operates the county road system, which consists of both paved and dirt roads all through the county. If the county wishes to close a paved or a dirt road that's part of the county road system, there's a statutory process for doing it. What has to happen is that there has to be a notice run in the paper, there has to be a written resolution, like what you have here, and the board has to have a public hearing where you hear from the people, and at the end of that public hearing, you decide to either enact a resolution or not enact a resolution. What this resolution does is it closes the road called Southwest Ona Lane, and I believe that's a photograph of it. And so what I would do, Mr. Chairman, go ahead and open it up to the public and see if we get any comments. Once that's done, close the public hearing, then we'll make a decision.
All right, I will open it up to the public. Anyone wish to speak on the enclosure of Southwest Ona Lane? Hearing none, I'm gonna bring it back to the board.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
we did receive one letter. We do send out registered letters
Right.
to all the property owners in that area, and we did receive one letter that was negative against the closure of the road. Or the phone? I'm sorry, it was a phone call.
Phone call.
The staff to us.
Okay, phone call. All right, pleasure of the board. Do I have a motion?
That'd be my motion to,
All right, I have a motion and a second to, accept, closing, on the ordinance, adopting the ordinance to close Southwest Ona Lane. Resolution. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Pass 5-0. All right, down to number 3, public hearing to consider special exception for the application submitted by Deborah Brown to operate the commercial food vending machine vehicle on a residential zone area at the tax parcel number 23, on the north and 9-9-04735. Ms. Brown, are you present? Would you come forward, please? Give you a moment to speak about your wishes.
Good evening.
As stated, I am Deborah Brown, living on Country Kitchen Road. And the reason for my application is I am retired, but I still would like to stay active. And I love to cook. I do. Ever since I was little, I was cooking mud pies. So, I love cook, you know, just to see the face of people when they eat it, how they feel about it, you know, just that smile, it just does something to my heart. And I don't wanna cause no trouble, I just want my little spot, sell my little food, they come get it, they leave, and that's it.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
With the P and Z.
Yes, sir. Renee Debs is here, she's the county planner, and she'd like to let you know what they're planning and zoning.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We held a public hearing to consider the application last night at P&Z, and P&Z did approve with the recommendation to the board to allow the operation of the food truck in the residential area, with the condition that if we received any complaints, that it would come back before P&Z for reconsideration. They didn't have any objections as to flow of traffic. There's another picture that I have that shows Miss Deborah's property. There's actually 3 lots that's been combined into one, and she has 2 means of ingress and egress. So I spoke with Mr. Buddy Bryant with the road department, and he said that she could use both. And if, once you decide on what you wanna do here, if she's approved, we will go through the process of her being set up to use both, driveways. It was inspected yesterday, and he said he sees no problem with it. There's some shrubbery, he says the county will cut off to make sure it's safe. As far as waste, Mr. Clay Blair is gonna get with Ms. Deborah about a solid waste plan on disposing of the waste that's generated. But the majority of her operation is call in and pick up. There will be no congregating on property. She's planning on operating Tuesday through Saturday. Her hours of operation at this time is 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. But as stated, P&Z said if there's any complaints, they would revisit it and probably amend those hours.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
If motion is ordered, I move that I move that we grant the request.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second to.
One thing, when you consider special exception is a permit to do something on the property. There's really not a good mechanism to say we're gonna grant a special exception, and if there are complaints, we're gonna bring it back. I think you're either gonna have to grant it or not grant it. So, I mean, I don't know what other assurances y'all need, but I don't really think you can do what P&Z said. I mean,
As far as bringing it back.
As far as bringing it back, because once you grant a special exception, that's a permit, then the person that has a special exception can start expending money and all that in reliance on the special exception.
Sure.
It's one of those things, you're either gonna have to grant it or not.
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That's 5-0. Thank you. Ms. Dem, appreciate your work on the P&Z and also Ms. Dem, congratulations. All right, we will move on down to number 5, request for temporary closing a portion of Georgetown Road for a community event. I think that's St. James Church. You have that in your packet also, or actually there's also a drawing that was put up here today. That is on the screen there.